How you doing out there? How you doing? Welcome. This is the Frankie Russo show, pre-show, before the live show at 77 WABC. I've been doing these pre-shows for some time now. If you want to see my past pre-shows, you go to Frankie Russo Video on YouTube. I got my whole YouTube channel. I got over 20 shows on there. Tonight is my 71st live show here at 77 WABC, and we're just moving forward. So basically, I'm sticking to this thing because I've been really, really focused on this Obama administration conceivably being a criminal enterprise. I believe I have statistical significant data to show it. I'm not going to go through the whole outline, but if you look at the past pre-shows, I go into in-depth. And basically, we got Obama's illegal president because of a fraudulent Secret Service card, which I believe is statistically significant, entering into a memorandum of understanding with the Clinton Foundation, which we know was a fugazi, fake. I mean, they're doing what they want anyway. They just narrow the scope. They just did what they want. Hillary Clinton sat as Secretary of State while Bill Clinton toured the world. Well, they took, according to Preet Bharara and court papers and a judge's decision, Honorable Catherine Forrest from the Southern District, she came down with the ruling and ruled in favor of Preet Bharara that this 650 Fifth Avenue building, which was originally owned by the Shah of Iran, when the Shah left Iran, the mullahs took it over. The Iranian mullahs took it over. They had three front organizations: the Alevi Foundation, Asa Corporation, and Bank Melli of Iran. So what happened was the Judge Catherine Forrest, ruled that basically it's the Iranian government that's operating the 650 Fifth Avenue building. They're funneling money to the Iranian government from 650 Fifth Avenue building through these front organizations. From 650 Fifth Avenue in New York City, that's 53rd Street and Fifth Avenue, through these front organizations, Alevi Foundation, Asa Corporation, and Bank Melli of Iran, to the Iranian government. And what happened was money laundering, the whole thing, and the executive director of the Alevi Foundation was in jail for obstruction of justice. Preet Bharara, district attorney of the Southern District. That happened. That's real court papers, judge's decision. Well, they gave the Alevi Foundation, which basically was deemed the Iranian government, gave the Clinton Foundation $105,000. So, my sources, Weekly Standard, Rachel Effenfeld from the American Center of Democracy, for Democracy, Judicial Watch, Freedom of Information Act, Judicial Watch. Who else we got into this? American Spectator. A lot, statistically significant documents, congressional oversight documents by Senator John Klein. We also have law review article by Kelly, a law review article in the Lewis and Clark Law Journal by Kelly Moore. He was an assistant attorney general of the United States for over 10 years. Very interesting article he wrote, statistically significant article. And we got the Hanskew case right now. I'm going to go over tonight more. The Hanskew case, Hanskew versus Special Services Division. It talks about, because what's really, it gets crazy, because not only we have the Title 21 statute, which claims a person or organization, all they have to do is know that the money that they're getting, that's being donated to them by the organization, okay, they have to know that the money that's being donated to them from this organization, namely the Alevi Foundation, if the Clinton Foundation knows that the Alevi Foundation is a terrorist entity, this transaction is prohibited, according to Title 21 of the United States Federal Code. Then you got the Clinton, he signed Omnibus 1999, that's a budget bill. But within that budget bill is Section 117, according to the Weekly Standard, where basically it enables American families to garner some sort of recovery from the unfortunate events of terrorist attacks, like specifically 9/11, and or families of Marines who were killed in the Beirut bombing, Like, for example, 650 Fifth Avenue, which was basically a forfeiture of property, the biggest forfeiture of property in money laundering scheme in this country's history. Forfeited the property over, it was seized and forfeited over and given to the families of September 11th, the unfortunate terrorist attack, and the families of the Marines that were killed in the Beirut bombing. The sales of the proceeds of this building. Now, let's just give you an example. So, October 21st, 1998, President Clinton signed Section 117, which favored the American people to get some sort of money back from the assets of these terrorist regimes like Iran, right? That same day, Presidential Directive 99-1 waived the requirement of Section 117. So it went from favoring the American people to favoring the Iranian government under the guise of national security. So go figure. So question, how doesn't President Clinton know that the Alevi Foundation isn't a terrorist entity, that it is a terrorist entity? How doesn't he know that it is that it is? I don't understand how he doesn't know that the Alevi Foundation is a terrorist entity. It sure is. I don't know how he doesn't know that. He's the President of the United States. Crazy, right? And it gets even crazier. According to three sources that I talk about this every week, Rachel Effenfeld, President of American Center for Democracy. According to her, according to the American Spectator, public tax records, and the Hanskew case versus Special Services Division. $1.4 million went from the Alevi Foundation to the Blind Cheeks Mosque. So technically, I don't have the public tax records in front of me, but according to the American Spectator, the public tax records of the Alevi Foundation shows over $1.4 million going to the Blind Cheeks Mosque. Now we know who the Blind Sheik was involved with the bombing of the World Trade Center in 1993, and a lot of crazy stuff. According to the Kelly Moore article in the Lewis and Clark Law Review Journal, the ice cream parlor, the Brooklyn Ring with the ice cream parlor, $21 million being funneled to 15 countries. We got a Yemen sheik, 75 counts found guilty, 75 counts of financing terror, 20 million to Al Qaeda, and 5 million to Hamas. And the Blind Sheik's Mosque is involved. Crazy. So now, to take this a step further, I'm in the Hanskew case, because basically what I'm trying to show is, though according to some people that I've spoken with and some articles that I've read, they're claiming that this transaction is legal. But I don't understand how it could be legal. I don't understand, based on the information that this is statistically significant information, court papers, judges' decisions. I don't understand how President Clinton doesn't know that the Alevi Foundation is a terrorist entity. I don't understand how he doesn't know that. I just don't get it. So I'm going to go now, we'll talk a little bit about, continue to go into this Hanskew versus Special Services Division, and just continue to put more information, keep going over this information, because there's supposedly, they were talking rumors that we're going to push back this Iranian, because I'm bringing this full circle, because Mohammad Zarif, who was the Iranian ambassador to the UN from 2002 to 2007, I think, something like that, those kind of dates, was the executive director of the Alevi Foundation around that time as well. And they have, according to the Weekly Standard, he's implicated, though nothing came of it, with him, Mohammad Zarif. And those who don't know who Mohammad Zarif is, he's the foreign minister of Iran. He is the chief negotiator of these Iranian nuke deals that we're talking about today. That's what I'm talking about. So, and there's more other players, and I'm going to bring it to this thing full circle. Like I've been saying, I'm throwing the information in. I'm just saying right now, I don't understand how President Clinton doesn't know that the Alevi Foundation is a terrorist entity. I don't understand it. So now, I'm going to go into, like I did last week, continue with this Hanskew case. We're going to talk for a few minutes. So basically, I'm in Appendix A, and I just, it's really interesting because the Appendix A talks about the discussion of our need to maximize the NYPD's ability to gather facts and make vital connections through intelligence analysis. So we need the NYPD, right? It's crazy. I support the NYPD. We need them. We got a mayor that took away the surveillance of the mosques, and now it's my understanding they're bringing it back with some certain sort of regulations on it or whatever. I mean, just read. I'm reading from the Hanskew versus Special Service Division case, January 2003, on what goes on in these mosques. It's incredible. We know 1993 World Trade Center bombing was planned at a Jersey City mosque where the blind sheik was speaking on numerous occasions. And the imam of that Jersey City mosque was Muhammad al Hanoudi. Hanoudi, he he wrote a letter of recommendation. I don't think that's any significance, but he wrote a letter of recommendation for. Okay, he wrote a letter of recommendation for this guy Muhammad Zalimi. Muhammad Zalimi is the driver of the Ryder van that delivered the bomb to the garage of the World Trade Center in 1993. So I guess that is statistically significant. That is some significance. It isn't, it is information that you have to continue, that enables you to say, I got to continue to investigate this thing. This is crazy, right? Now, I got something here from, yeah, it's up here. Here it is. I got it up here. From the Center for Security Policy. Now, this group here, they identify challenges and opportunities likely to affect American security, broadly defined, and to act promptly and creatively to ensure that they are the subject of focused national examination, effective action. So basically, this is a think tank on national security, and they specialize. They're very plugged into this is a think tank on national security. They're plugged into this Islamic thing, the radical Islamists, and they have an article here. Major U.S. Muslim Brotherhood leader Mohammed al Hanoudi dies. This was published June 5th, 2015. Muhammad al Hanoudi, a major leader in U.S. Muslim Brotherhood, has died according to the funeral records. Now, he was an unindicted co-conspirator in both the Holy Land Foundation trial, the 2008 Holy Land Foundation Hamas financing trial, and the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. This is Hanoudi. Now, these are not court papers. This is information garnered by the Center for Security Policy, a very, very well-sourced organization. So, I mean, I believe this is statistically significant, but the court papers just this is confirmed by the Hanskew case. Okay, and as part of he also was a member of the Palestinian. He was a member of the Palestine Committee of the U.S. Muslim Brotherhood, which was established in order to support Hamas. And we know Hamas is a terrorist organization deemed by the nctc.gov website. And according to a 2001 FBI memo, and this is in the Hanskew case, Hanoudi has helped to raise $6 million for Hamas-linked entities. Hanoudi was also caught on a wiretap discussing raising funds for defense of Hamas leader Marzouk. So this guy's not a nice guy, just for the record, this Hanoudi. So, right? And quite frankly, it just adds to this whole thing with the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. Because just going here, we got the Blind Sheikh speaking at the Jersey City Mosque, where, according to the record, is where the 1993 World Trade Center bombing was planned. And the imam of the Jersey City Mosque was Muhammad al-Hanoudi. They throw in, he wrote a letter of recommendation for Mohammed Zalmi, who was the driver of the Ryder van, I said this earlier, that delivered the bomb to the garage of the World Trade Center in 1993. But what's crazy is the different individuals. Muhammad al-Hanoudi now is another radical Islamist coming from the Blind Sheikh's Mosque, where the Alevi Foundation gave $1.4 million to, according to the American Spectator article, claiming that the public tax records show that the Alevi Foundation gave $1.4 million to the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. And based on the Kelly Moore article in the Lewis and Clark Law Journal and this Hanskew case, it's compelling. The activities that go on, that has gone on with this Blind Sheikh's Mosque, the Muhammad al-Hanoudi Mosque in Jersey City, and now we talk about, because it's crazy, because all of these various radical Islamists, like the Blind Sheikh, left Egypt. And I said this last week, because of his involvement in terrorist activities. He had to leave Egypt. And he came here. How did he get in here? Guaranteed, Muhammad al-Manoudi also had to leave. I bet you. I'll bet you. I bet you, man. That guy had to leave because he's involved with CARE. This group, I tell you, man, I just don't understand it. We have the best intelligence community in the world, between the FBI and the CIA. I just don't know how the Blind Sheikh got in to this country. Muhammad al-Manoudi, let me see where this guy came from. I'm going to do a search right now on this guy. Muhammad al-Hanoudi. Let's see where this guy came from. He was born in Palestine. Wow. There isn't much on this guy. Interesting. I'll find out. We will find out. We will find out. Israel. Interesting. I don't know. But we're going to find out where this guy's from. But anyway, so now we got the Blind Sheikh. He became the imam, as we know, of the Al Farouk Mosque in Brooklyn. It's on Atlantic Avenue. And he preached offering in the Abu Bakr Mosque in Brooklyn. Now, and in this, I said this last week, I'm going over this information again because I'm going to keep being redundant on this stuff, because I want people to see the significance of this information. These are court papers. This is all the activity that's gone on over here. I don't understand it. I don't understand how all this stuff goes on in this country, and it's just amazing to me. I'm just blown away. But anyway, So in 1997, the Al Farouk Mosque received $1.4 million from the Levy Foundation, a U.S. charitable organization controlled by the Iranian government. Now, we've been discussing this Levy Foundation for quite some time. And so now, from the Levy Foundation, in addition to the blind sheik controlling the Al Farouk Mosque in Brooklyn, he preached at the Abu Bakr Mosque in Brooklyn, and he controlled the Al Kafia Relief Center as well. Now, the Al Khalif Relief Center, according to the Anskew versus Special Service Division, was founded by Osama bin Laden and diverted vast sums of money to terrorist activities and training camps in Afghanistan. So I guess it's a chapter in Brooklyn, the Al Kafia Relief Center, and it's controlled by the blind sheik. He's in jail right now for life. And our president, Obama, to me, he's an illegal president. He's whatever. He's an illegal president. He's been trying to get him released. Crazy. Oh, man. Muhammad Abu Halima played a role in the Al Kafia Relief Center, the management of the Al Kafia Relief Center, and was very close to the blind sheik. In 1995, Abu Halimiya was convicted for his involvement in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. To finance his activity, listen to this, Abu Halimiya ran a phony coupon redemption center in Brooklyn. Okay? So now we have a Jersey City mosque that the blind sheik frequent, and we know at this Jersey City mosque, the planning of the World Trade Center bombing happened. We have the Al Farouk Mosque, which was the blind sheik's mosque, and the blind sheik preached at the Islamic Community Center, Abu Bakr Mosque, and controlled the Al Kafia Relief Center. And we know the blind sheik's mosque received $1.4 million from the Levy Foundation. Now, the Al Kafia Relief Center was founded by Osama bin Laden, and we know that Muhammad Abu Halimiya, who had very close ties to the blind sheik, was convicted. He was involved in the management of the Al Kafia Relief Center, which was controlled by the blind sheik. And Muhammad Abu Halimiya was convicted for his involvement in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. And to finance his terrorist activity, he ran a phony coupon redemption center in Brooklyn. Wow. And we talked about this last week. That's incredible. Now, the Abu Bakr Mosque, which the blind sheik had frequent, was where they planned with the blind sheik a cataclysmic day, according to the Hanskew versus Special Services Division, in which a bomb was to explode at each of the United Nations, the George Washington Bridge, the Lincoln and Holland tunnels, and 26 Federal Plaza. The blind sheik, obviously, as we know, was convicted for his role in the bomb plot. And terrorist manuals on Al Kafia Relief Center letterhead were admitted into evidence at the trial. Wow. I'm going to read this next paragraph, and then we're going to call it a night. And I'm going to come back next week with more information, with some additional information. I just wanted to go over this particular section again because there's a lot of moving parts. And I'm going to show more of it next week before we move forward more with the Holy Land Foundation trial, which is another money laundering. It's the biggest money laundering scheme for terror in this country's history. Is out in Texas, and it's all involved with the blind sheik. The blind sheik is there. It's crazy. So anyway, in 1995, Mohammed al-Hanoudi. Now, just to go back, Mohammed al-Hanoudi, as we know, is what? Muhammad al-Manoudi was the imam of the Jersey City Mosque where the World Trade Center bombing was planned with the blind sheik. And we talked about Muhammad al-Manoudi earlier, about some other things he was involved with. In 1995, al-Manoudi was named as an unindicted co-conspirator in the bomb plot by former U.S. Attorney Mary Jo White. At the same time, he became the imam of the largest mosque in the Albany area. And in 1993, and we talked about it in the Center for Security Policy, in 1993, Mohammed al-Hanoudi raised $6 million for the support of a mosque in Israel, which was funneled through the Holy Land Foundation. Al-Hanoudi denies any involvement in bombing or raising funds to support Hamas. And that's not true because he's on the list as an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation trial. I saw it. He's an unindicted co-conspirator. And according to Judge Salas, we spoke about it last week, Judge Salas from I think I said the Southern District of Texas, it's the Northern District of Texas. Court papers, judge's decision, FBI investigation, FBI surveillance, wiretaps, everything. It all points toward the 246 front organizations, unindicted co-conspirators, front group organizations of Muslim Brotherhood. And the FBI, and they had all the data and all the information. And what happened was, when it came down to continuing the investigation, and according to Judge Salas, there was ample evidence that these acts of money laundering, these people, these 246 unindicted co-conspirators, front organizations for the Muslim Brotherhood, were guilty. So Eric Holder had enough information to continue the investigation, to indict further the players in this Holy Land Foundation trial. But as we know, and we've discussed earlier in the live show, in the pre-show, that Eric Holder, the Obama administration, dropped the charges. They're spending money all over the place, $18 trillion deficit, and they can't spend some more money to make certain that the American people are protected, to enhance the security of the American people, both home and abroad. Because on the preliminary investigations, we did garner some data, some information on what these radical Islamists are up to over here in America and abroad. So, truth be told, I went over the same stuff from last week, but I went more specific with it. I just want everybody to understand that what I'm doing is I'm showing, though this is not a congressional oversight hearing, though this is not an investigation by a government agency, an FBI investigation or anything like that, there's enough data out there, there's enough information out there to scratch your head and say, I don't understand how, based on the court decisions by Judge Forrest, Catherine Forrest, that it's the Iranian government, Pre-Bahara 1, and it's the Iranian government that's garnering the money from 650 Fifth Avenue in New York City through these front organizations. Alevi Foundation, that's a corporation, and Bank Melli of Iran. And that Alevi Foundation gave $105,000 to the Clinton Foundation. Oh, but Saudi Arabia gave them $25 million. So what? Who cares? Why bring that up? The Iranian government is the state sponsor of terrorists since 1984. The Wabc Foundation, who according to the judge's decision is the Iranian government, they're giving the Clinton Foundation $105,000 and Clinton refuses to return it. And according to all the people that I've spoken to and some documents and articles that I've read, it's supposedly a legal transaction. But it doesn't make sense to me, because if Clinton knows that the Wabc Foundation is a terrorist entity, then the money that exchanged between the Wabc Foundation and the Clinton Foundation is illegal. So my question is, based on all the data from the Hanskew case, which I'm not done with yet, from the Kelly Moore article, from the Lewis and Clark Law Review Journal, on the Blind Sheikh's Mosque, all this activity, how doesn't the Clinton Foundation, President Clinton, not know that the Wabc Foundation is a terrorist entity? We're going to continue this, because I'm bringing this thing full circle to the Iranian nuke deal today. This is the Frankie Russo pre-show number 71. You got to join America's team. You got to join America's team. Go to russonation.tv or americasteam.today. Join America's team and get a t-shirt. This is the Frankie Russo pre-show. I'll see you within the hour, live here at 77 WABC. Yeah, yeah.